Okay, all right. Evil Genius is a North American org, okay?
A little
it's an
overplayed,
international
maybe.
team, but it is an
The NA
team
with crit on it.
Shame. Here's the
Look, we have our TZ. We have our TZ.
That's true. There is our TZ. The orgs, yes, are a little bit redundant.
Get a ban.
Anyways, let's hop into the game. First phase. It's a hero pairing that EG's been doing okay with, but something I've seen almost every team do when they do get IO is they grab Storm, and that's a hero that EG's they played 3 times, have only won those 3 games. In some ways, I feel like the IO is restricting the draft because it's like forces your down to these kind of static play styles. It has to be pairing. Maybe hurts the draft a little bit. With that said, they're going to ban out Storm themselves on OG Tiny, and we're also not going to see a hero that's been very popular. I think it's right now. It kind of covers a lot of different bases. You get 4 staff effect at all stages of the game, which is great.
Yeah, it's definitely crept into the meta. Kind of interesting that I know that Abed is very, very fond of that
5
meta.
seconds
Hasn't had a great win rate, though. According to the stats man that we have, I think it's Lemaire who's been doing it for us, bless him, has shown that it's like a 33% so far.
Yeah, it's a bit rough for him. But what I think is important, or at least what I've seen so far from all the moderate amount of Storm Spirit, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of games for Storm insanely. It's obviously great at initiating. It's going to be able to jump across the map and start teamfights. It pairs well with IO on paper by all means, because you can jump so far, get that disable, set up the relocate time. But in most other situations we've seen punished, we've seen them slow to catch up. They've been behind in net worth as a whole, but teams still value it clearly. And if it does have a good game, maybe we just haven't caught him. Monkey King is going to be the opener for EG. Crit playing this in pubs. Teams across the board have it on the table to give them their in the lane type things if it plays a core. So gives EG great flexibility to start things off, and there's another great flexibility.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Elder Titan recently, especially because of the fact it gives you such an advantage around that Roche pit. The ability to go throw out the vision, and also just to disrupt everything if you're in that you know exactly where he is if you're going through that. Also, another fun fact too, with Monkey King getting picked up over on Evil Genius. Obviously, very, very popular. This is a hero that can be run really in multitudes of positions right now. But also, I believe OG has like a 96% win rate with it well. So definitely snapping it out of OG's hands, you know, taking that monkey business away from them. They thrive on that power.
Which makes a lot of sense because it is classically been one of the first heroes Thompson was known for right before he got to T8. And Seb flirted with it for a while as the offlane when Witchblade came out. Tried to make it work in the offlane. The one didn't quite work great there, but obviously they're support players. But the Magnus and the ET kind of covers a lot of bases. It's going to make it easy for them to steroid up whatever carry they end up going with, or mid player depending. And then skewer plays are very effective as well to forcing some slightly bad team fights. There's just such a fickle like game where you have those tanky heroes in the middle between where their team is and yours, and if you can just skewer him back to your team, it doesn't feel bad anymore. So Magnus can be really anyways, and it's a Seb special.
5 seconds
it makes a lot of sense for you to open this
Here's the Radiant
and plus Empower plus ET combos is just going to be really effective. RP them together. Whoever is going in is going to have Empower, and then ET's going to be able to amplify all that damage by a huge amount.
Coming out bright and early side of OD, they pick up the Tide Hunter.
10 seconds.
Have seen, you know, some movement. Hero occasionally plays mid lane, not necessarily solid in just.
And supports as well. We see teams some for that, and it seems okay. You don't have as much ability to be tanky, but in a really aggressive place. But it functions as a support if you really go that way. So, and EG is definitely one of those teams that's willing to switch it up occasionally to do some weird stuff. But yeah, Tide as a core is typically going to feel a lot better for a hero against potentially. Well, Anchor Smash doesn't reduce the bonus damage that ET gets with his spirit, but having damage block and smash is a way to help offset that harass that ET. But we've seen a lot of Tides the games we've covered.
S4 played the other day. We saw Old 11. Old 11 was incredible. That man, when he's in for a fight, he is in for the fight. The rest of the team better get there really fast.
Yeah, he's been doing a really. But almost every Tide I've seen has had pretty solid performance. There's a lot of cool dueling combos as well with Tide due to minus armor. It gives you some Roche capabilities. The general team fight advantage stuff that Tide provides is just really safe and guaranteed disable on a lot of heroes once you get Blink. And then there's almost always so having 2 stuns right off the bat for EGs.
5 seconds. What'll it be?
Tinkerband's now from
Radiant's
worried
turn to
about.
ban.
Ember Spirit Ban, that was something
The Dire
successful
get
with
a
on Abed.
ban.
They have a pretty good win rate with that so far. And if you do have a playstyle where you want to poke a little bit and fish for the right team fight, Ember is.
A lot of skill. That hero.
10
So it
seconds.
makes sense that they'd want to remove it.
They had like an amazing game today,
5
and then I
seconds
saw them
remaining.
play a different match later on. Remember, I didn't get to see that game that I'm.
Here's the Radiant
It's still
ban.
a pretty good carry. Not the most broken in the world, but not like it was a month ago. I really was disgusted with, let's say, a month ago.
The amount of damage that they could output was insane. I think
While also
was,
farming super. while
right.
also
ESL
safely
Fall
doing it,
was
yeah.
like insane. Watching this hero just suddenly everyone was just
10 seconds.
perfect build. You go with Maelstrom, you go with crits. Yeah, I'm glad to
5
see it.
seconds
Nerfed a
remaining.
little,
Mhm.
not in this game as well. I'm
And-
interested if OG might go for that Legion command as a support too. And that's very fascinating.
They
Radiant's
picked
turn
4
to
times
pick.
in 3 support, and they won every.
I think
Dire
one was
Wolves.
tops and mid with it,
Really?
which is very close to my heart because
Yeah.
you know in SA that is the common thing that you'll see is a Legion commander just me mid goes right out.
It's a fun one, yeah, for sure. It's because you get so many more levels. It's a slightly different play style. You're closer on the map, so it may be easier to.
10 seconds.
They protect themselves on the EG side by banning out Slark. Very good hero against some of those
5
off laners.
seconds
So
remaining.
Slark is gone, would have been good with him. Oh, but OG's going to go for a Hoodwink. And now they're going to get to see basically the whole EG draft without revealing much of their own. They could play Hoodwink as a core. I think I've only seen it as a support myself so far. But Topson classically did like playing it, but I'm not
It's very much a Soxa hero though too.
That's true.
Excellent with. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, it's a great patch. We're seeing a lot of flexibility. Many of the heroes could position. So can Magnus, we've seen No Tail rock that Magnus as a position 5
Yeah.
as well. So really playing some 4D chess right now. And also, I'm sure there's a lot of actual team meta between.
Yeah, for sure. They're in the same group, so they've been playing a lot of the same teams. Maybe you can get some of that information to see what they did and how your opponents use that for planning. Well, if we do this, this is how they're going to react, and using that information, possibly outdrafting. EG here, gonna have to pick their next 2 heroes, taking their time to figure them both out. You don't necessarily want to pick the first one and then wait 30 seconds and then pick the second one. It saves you more time on the clock, but then your opponents have more time knowing.
Disruptor.
They're gonna go for a Disruptor pick first, and we'll see what they do. They've got 30 extra seconds now by grabbing that one. Doesn't reveal too much. Disruptors felt quite good from games we've watched, actually.
Shame.
Pretty routinely gives you
Shame.
nice advantages in some of
Shame.
especially against mobile heroes, Magnus, or
10 seconds.
being able to guarantee
Turn to pick.
that they're locked down and you can
Lanes are starting to shape up a little more now that Invoker picked up as well as the Disrupt.
Now.
But OG responding very, very quickly. They know what to do here. And this is something that I thought was really interesting. Having a discussion this morning. Hair and makeup done with Mr. Avo Plus.
Mhm.
Wonderful fella. And
always good at hair and makeup too.
Oh, yes. Have you seen him today? His style, his
I did not.
fashion. Like a bright pink jacket.
10
Very eye-catching.
seconds.
But we were discussing, differences.
5 seconds remaining.
Evil geniuses, they tend to be very know that they're going to gain control of the map very, very early on, or at least they like to.
Mhm.
Not necessarily, going for an all-in push strat, but they just have really good control. OG, on the other hand, controlled chaos.
Yeah.
You're never sure where they're going to go.
Radiant's turn to
EG,
bat.
I'm sure probably aware of this. They're one of the best teams in the world,
Now.
but it's always a guessing game when you're playing up against OG, not only for how they're going to lane things, because let's face it, Topson does crazy things all the time. No
Mhm.
Tail likes to be very flexible. But also, they don't necessarily play the map the way that some. Right? It's a mind game.
10 seconds.
Yeah,
This game.
and that's very important because most teams now are basically
5
all teams now are
seconds
very good at
remaining.
restricting and only show some heroes, and everyone else wants to stay off the map pretty much all the time. That way, you have to play a guessing game. Where do we really think they're getting? A lot of teams are great at scanning those out, but if you just play aggressive at various points on the map, it's not behind you. Your opponents a lot of times have to just respect it and be like, well, you're there. you're playing aggressive. There's a good chance that your team's behind you, and then they gank somewhere on the map, the other side of the map instead. So it really just makes you split your resources and makes your game become less. Certainly one of the reasons initially at the first TI was those extra deaths that happen sometimes. They can be worth it.
Can I tell you my favorite Eternal Envy?
He is a little chaotic for sure.
Hilarious. There was a game that I was doing, I think it was casting with Jenkins, and he was playing a Bristleback, and he went top to gank, and he dies. And then like a madman, kept going top. Jenkins is like, who does that? Who fails a gank and then goes back again to try to get, like, it's just like, you know, we talk about chaos, we talk about mind games. It's very important. And because he's just so unpredictable, you know, 50-50, it causes a lot of people to, you know, reevaluate, like, how do we play against this guy? Because he doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right, last pick here. OG's banning out 2 carries, so they're expecting the Monkey port. It's fairly likely. They did round out with the Juggernaut, which is pretty effective against Tidehunter in lane. You just have to get him a bit lower, then you go for the spin kill. And Anchor Smash doesn't work through Blade Fear anymore, so that's pretty nice to go for them. And they're going to go for a Shadow Shaman. I don't think I've seen any other Shadow Shaman caught so far, but this is going to make it easier for them to take towers. Monkey King is either carry as a result. He's going to be likely against a Magnus. It's going to be a little bit rough for Mag, but you can always... Or Hoodwink can cover you, so I think it's not going to be too bad for OG in that lane setup. But Shaman does give them some really nice disables to help them disable Jug as they're about to team. They do that, it means that they're going to be able to disable follow-up, probably kill Jug. But now because of their support duo, they're like 2 squishy guys that don't have much. Clockwork looks real. And how does this change things up? Basically, no difference other than Topson going to be playing Hoodwink. That's the big difference maker. Mid Hoodwink. I haven't seen anybody else play Core yet. Maybe it's happened, but I'm excited to see how he does. Probably going to see your typical like Ags build that they transition into, but other than that, I mean, it's all fairly squishy, disable heavy supports on EG's side, so maybe a BKB for Topson is the other thing. BKB is great against Invoker, against Tide, against Disruptor Shaman, so maybe gets BKB to protect himself a bit, but they're going to have Mag Jug. That's going to make Jug feel way better. He doesn't have to do this like sort of slow Maelstrom and Manta kind of build. I like OG's draft, but EG's has a lot of good potential. Well, if Jug gets a bit behind, I feel like they're going to put pressure on the map. Monkey King carry. Tidehunter playing farming very aggressively. Ports putting powers. Grabs. Gonna be a really good game.
Sure. I'm interested to see, too, the way, you know, we do have that Empower that sub will be able to mail. I'm interested to see how OG decide to play this, right? Because there's 2 ways of running this. You can have them just have Sumail off on the side, doing his own thing, and then have the rest of the team create that movement. Or do you play nearby and you have him join in early?
That's a good question, especially for OG historically. When Ana rejoined them Season 2, the play near them thing was absolutely what they did. They stuck together very often looking for kills, and just to rotate over, drop a healing ward, walk over, do a spin, then go back to farming. He might end up playing near them a lot, but the fact that he has a Magnus makes me... Like, he's going to want to stay near Seb to get him power once in a while, of course, but makes me assume he's going to hit creeps a little bit more abundantly, especially because he's effective if he can spin first.
Those lines have begun. It seems like everyone's very excited. We get to have fun dropped by No Tail. Was just the birthday boy as well the other day, so he's got to be feeling very excited.
First TI with birthday. I can relate to that a bit because in August, so it was like almost most years during TI, it's like my birthday flaps in there somewhere.
Oh, really?
But now that everything's different, it's like they get this new special birthday
TI birthday.
Screaming all day, watching replays, practicing. The best birthday you can have.
I mean, let's be fair. A lot of these guys, a good birthday for them is scrimming, staying in the room playing, you know, maybe getting food that's...
Winning your scrims, the best day.
That is. Feeling good when you win. See, also, like, you know, just see that whole line of green. Good.
All right, positioned right now, just to maybe spot lanes. They're going to block Cray with this Observer Ward, so they can maybe anticipate start, but everything looks normal on the EG side, everything normal on the OG side. Low pressure, though.
A little bit of pressure over onto Ice. Doesn't seem concerned, but No Tail making use of that battery assault, getting a couple whacks in.
That was definitely worth it. Gush back here. Crit's maybe gonna give him a little zap on the way.
我不理解，
Slaps, but good harass for
我
Clockwork
不
to start.
理解。
All right, trying to get into Arteezy's mind right here.
All right. Have all, that must be so
Yeah.
absolutely. Man. You
With
know what it
that
translates
emote?
to? I
No idea, but I see that winky emote they're using with it.
Sassy. All right, so we have a matchup of Thompson and Abed. Middle lane.
In the side lane, looks like Ice
Ice
might
is
be going
sitting
down.
so very low already.
That was No-Tail running, going for the battery salty. He's doing a great job harassing Ice. They don't have a salve on Crit. They spotted this earlier, I think, with the Observer Ward. Maybe this is why No-Tail went for that early trade, because he's having to tango up. It's him a lot.
这么菜的队友
Taking
不
a
生气
lot
吧
of
真的是
damage early on. Saksa also sitting a bit low. Seb has already started those mind games. He's thrown out the high five.
The Gush bottom on No-Tail.
Gush bottom. Crit. Trying to run away here. We'll throw out a couple more slaps. No-Tail sitting very low.
This is really good what No-Tail's done, though. He's gotten their HP so low that now Sumail's spin is actually a big threat. So that's why Ice has to play safe. Ice just getting his second last hit. Sumail's at a massive 5. I don't think they're going to be able to recover from this advantage.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering. I saw that he was sitting low. I figured he probably wants a free trip. No health, no mana left. Not really going to be able to.
Yep, very important he gets on the map. More regen this way. He'll be able to bring back here. Crit doing his best to deny Sumail, but yes, so far everything all right for both teams. Way behind because they don't want to contest against sense. It's like the one lane that EG has a pretty decent melee hero. It's not going to feel so being able to separate him is great. Soxa is going to deny this creep. In fact, Fly didn't head over for this. This is going to be a big experience advantage for the starting
你
lane.
这么菜的队，你这么菜的队友不会生气
But
吧？
they're doing the
真
same
的
thing, so they're also going to deny creep wave of experience as they pull the whip. So they'll go even here. Both teams happy.
A lot of scrapping early on here. No first blood just yet, but you can tell that they definitely mean business, especially No-Tail just continuously trying to just interrupt anything going on over on the side between Crit and Ice.
Thompson might be going for a kill in the mid lane pretty soon. Abed's kind of low here. He did just use his acorn shot, just trying to health in a really low point, but the fact that Thompson's full regen and Abed is not is going to make it hard for Abed to keep getting last hits.
Oh, No-Tail is going to be the first blood. Ice has had enough of this little robot.
You talking to me?
Gonna take him out of the lane, so he's gone back to the fountain for the second time. Not this time of his own.
Tough one. Clockwork does a lot of damage, but he's not the most survivable. Just raw HP on him. And Shaman has a lot of damage. Having to worry about Gush is big. On the bright side, it's not necessarily massively further size. He's fairing out mangoes and things like that just to make his laning stage good right now. And that's kind of what he has to do.
Surprised that we're not. I guess you kind of need to stay in the lane now, but would like to see some of these stacks being made for Ice because he has been having a little difficult amount of harassment out to him.
I think Sumail just glyphed just to deny a range. That's how much he cares about little margins. I'm watching him go for this last hit that he wanted so bad, and he glyphed it right before Ice to deny. There's the spin damage coming in.
No-Tail trying to get into position, has the battery assault on Crystal. Moving back though. Continue with these hits.
This is great. Really good damage.
Oh, this is a little bit spooky right now for Crit. He's gonna go hold out the shackles, but
So
they've
worth
got
it.
the healing ward up and running.
Because Crit didn't have any more regen, actually. He just brought himself a win lane. So now he's half HP. He's got a nice wand, of course, and there's a ring of health on Tide, but they're, again, kind of winning the regen battle in this little trade of duel. So it's going fine for them. 20 last hits now on Sumail, 16 on Tide. Some small marginal advantages, but it's a big deal in some...
Yeah, pulling of the wave in that top area. Bottom lane though, No-Tail again with battery assault. Sumail clicking away, does have the spin, trying to get enough damage over onto Ice, but still not able to go. Oh, there it is, there's the cogs. This is a very dead Tide Hunter. Gonna go over to No-Tail.
It was close. He almost jukes the spin there, but they're able to catch up with the battery assault, get the great cogs with both of them stuck inside, so Ice goes down. 1k advantage to OG right now, which is pretty severe. It might be on that edge, so maybe it looks a little bit more extreme. Good start for them in the...
Quiet time over lane though. Their levels, getting their last hits. right now we're looking at Thompson 27 and 9 and Hobbit at 25, so fairly even. I'm interested though to see
Dyer's courier
are we going to
has
see a
been
wait, oh,
killed.
Fly's courier right
They're
here.
fishing for
Are we going to see, you know, these
Jungle
rotations
Fire.
coming out fairly early, do you think? Or is it going to just be the Invoker just sticks in the lane the entire time? They try to send someone over. Gank?
Yeah, a lot of the games we've watched recently, there hasn't been too many,
这个
but this is a good game for it, I think. Another spin going on Ice in the bot lane. Just it's a level 3 actually, so pretty good amount of damage here. No Tail's gonna change it up. It misses his cogs, unfortunately, but hey, back to Ice, more damage.
Turn off some of it. The turn around with a shackle. Ice though will back off as Sumail is there with the healing ward yet again.
Little mana expensive, you do want to force Jug to do this.
Radiant's
Spin mana.
bottom tower is under
You
attack.
go this way, and I'll go
Thompson.
Blinking away over at Fly. Will throw out the kinetic, but has a bushwhack.
What I take it.
Couple more clicks to do it. Throws out the acorn. So that's the vision. Socks are coming in, and that's a dead Fly. Oh, in the bottom lane, Ice gets caught in the cogs yet again. Sumail collecting the kill this time.
They are just pressuring here. Really nicely done by OG so far. That's going to be an EP that does land on Thompson, but spends his mana right before it gets and he's doing fine. But the
Ooh, the rotation here from Crit. He's got the shackle. They even bring the disruptor to make sure that this little squirrel gets kept in the cage.
great rotation. 2 points in Hex there for Crit and really solid gank. That's
Dyer's top tower is
the
under
rotation value
attack.
from these. Disruptor's not the best at rotating, but obviously Sean,
Dyer's
great base
top
damage,
tower
good
is
disables,
about
and he's able to get there and put wards
Oh,
down on the long
geez.
way too.
It's a little bit too fast here, but you know who's nearby? It's Arteezy.
Did I
And he says, I will take that. Although it still goes over to Fly. We do have some nice stacks being built though over here on the side of OG.
Are
very
Radiant
aware of.
using echolocation?
There. I guess Jug's gonna kill with Empower, that's the goal. He's gonna go for a Yasha build. You can get away with this when you've got an Empower. An Empower offlaner. Spin for Harass on Ice, just to lower him down, but he's got Hood now. The instant Hood rush to lower the spin damage that Jug can deal. Otherwise he just gets zoned too easy. Put a mana, a wand here and there. Just has to play defensive. He is struggling. 24 last hits now compared to Sumail's 46. Jug really paying off here with the clockwork as well. Oh, and there's the Omni Slash bottom too, but it jumps to the neutral. It's a little unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Sumail. Ice though is still climbing away, and we do have another whole little fight going on. Asaxa is trying to run out here. Nice boundless landing coming out from Arteezy. Not sure they're gonna continue to follow though. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see now that Fly has noticed that they have all these stacks. I would almost like to see them maybe rotate up the Tidehunter. Maybe not just yet,
Yeah.
but definitely take it together because he's having some difficulties in that lane. These are some bad stacks, like you said.
That problem though is that Tide's like the only guy that can take it, but it's skill build. He's got 3 points in Kraken Shell because his lane is so hard. They can't easily do this, so yeah, Seb's gonna take it himself with help from Thompson. They both have Empower, but they're just trying to get this clean. Get the gold, get the experience, and more importantly, this
the
is
neutral
the
items.
neutral items. Getting them all in that first like minute period after they spawn is a nice.
I always like the neutral item pinata when you take a camp that's been stacked a couple times and they all just pop out all at once. Satisfying.
It's basically like giving everybody on your team bracer at the start of the game, and sometimes it's even more powerful. It's regen, it's mana regen. Those kinds of things end up meaning you don't have to supply consumables anymore. Thompson again getting it here.
Dyer's middle tower is under
Still being a little
pressure.
aggressive. Dire team scan in, they know that No-Tail headed over here.
They have great wards. If you look over in that middle lane there, you can see they've got the back of the tower covered
Radiant's
and they've got the
bottom
front
tower
area. So
faces
any
a
sort of
stiff
movement
wind.
coming out from the side
Dyer's
of
top
OG,
tower is under
very,
attack.
very in the know about it.
And that could have been just
I'm
because
not
they're worried about
opposed.
No-Tail's rotations, most likely. Because that's going to spot rotations between the mid lane and the bot lane. So Thompson and No-Tail both covered with these.
Dyer's top tower
But still a
is
small
under
gold
attack.
advantage for OP, but it's not blowing up wide, so everything's
I
fine.
could.
Now, Jug's going to be pressuring top tower by himself,
Dyer's
though.
top tower is
Maybe we'll see
about
EG
to
rotate now that they see some
defend.
heroes on the map, but
Is under attack.
for now, yeah, Arteezy is going to rotate and defend that now that he knows ward's paying off for EG.
movement, though. They want to try to secure this bottom tower on the side of EG, take away some of this advantage. And see, Seb is digging further and further into the tree line with the skewer. There's so many heroes from EG, though. This is not looking good. For fact, they're all here, and they all want to just get rid of Seb.
Not much he can do about that one. He could have skewered and tried TPing, but Invoker's
There's too much.
good chance he tornadoed anyways. So they're still gonna play in the area though. But yeah, Sox is kind of
Dyer's middle tower.
Tails also
is
hightailing it out of there. Fly, though, to get held into place. Abed with the follow-up. Looks like they'll maybe get the kill. Yeah, they'll be able to get the kill on Fly. So nice quick little pick-off. Of course, gonna walk right into Ice, Ice, Ice. So it's gonna be a little bit of a trade here. Splitter going through the sharpshooter. The follow-up with the Ravage.
我不理解。
Abed running for his life from Cement. Does have the Omni slash, but they're just chasing after Ice, Ice, Ice. Soxa will collect that kill.
Dude, those punches from Elder Titan were beefy. It's got 3 points in Astral Spirit here. You couldn't even tell that's a tanky hero normally on the Tide. Got damage block, but who cares? He's probably hitting for like 150. You're blocking 40 of it. And they end up not defending the tower, but they got a bunch of really crucial kills. I mean, No Tail traded his life for the 5. That gets him more levels, gets him to 6 a bit faster. It's delayed slightly, but he's catching up. Hobson gets a kill as well on crit, and then they also, Ravage gets burned. I mean, that's 3 great pickoffs.
This opens it up a bit more here for the side of OG. Now, Rascal has the Omni. You want to protect this mid tower, though. It's very important for that Roche advantage. They already lost the top tower. Mail was allowed to just kind of do his own thing while they were making moves below. Smoke coming out for the side of EG.
Just keeping it loose.
Great net worth on those two. Thompson's Hoodwink and Sumail's Jug, both sitting equal net worth. So even though Monkey King basically won his lane, it just felt like to me like he spent so much time running around, playing behind the tier 1 tower, that maybe he just got less last hits.
Oh, the immediate spot, though. This is a little squirrel that perhaps has spent too much time hiding over into the tree line because EG knew exactly where he was.
Yeah, they anticipated that one. They guessed or assumed somebody would be playing that area. Thompson was hoping to get a cheeky solo pickup on our team, and massively game impact. Instead, he's going to end up dying and giving Monkey a big network jump. Now they're equal in network. Kind of a big mistake by Thompson, but excellent punish by EG.
I feel like this is textbook EG right now, the way that they're moving, the way that they're trying to gank.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Full control of the jungle area after you've taken safe lane tier 1. You keep 1 core, ideally the tanky guy near mid tower, because he's the hardest to dive and kill. He should be safe to make sure they don't get to tower pressure, and now this just opens up a lot of area on the map for them. Surprisingly, Sumail, I assume maybe he would play opposite side of the map as well to be safe, but they feel like it's too
They're
much pressure.
really going right for this pressure here. Thompson with bushwhack. Finds himself a monkey. Ooh, the hook shot. Not going there.
Little too short. Could have been an okay grab there. Thompson gets to follow up on that, but did they miss it? No. Not even that much damage dealt to the tower, to be honest. They glyphed it. I thought it was going to be fine against the wards, but once the next creep wave came, not doing much. But I don't really blame Crit for going for that, because he's got Arcane Boots, so he had the mana, and it's not like they were going to get a great opportunity mid, so better to like force some rotations and get a little bit done here. But they're smoking. They're going to try to kill Thompson here.
Z throwing out the Boundless. That gank in the other part, though. Thompson, they drop the Static Storm, and they'll get themselves killed. Thompson, and in the top lane, Sumail find himself a kill on Crit. Soxa getting the final hit on our TV.
我不理解。
All right,
我不理
pretty
解。
Thompson, but they get 2 kills, so
Yeah.
they'll be really happy with that. Putting it on Jug. Thompson again, very happy to self-sacrifice, and despite these 2 deaths now for him, his net worth is still looking really good because his team has also done the right thing and ganked the Monkey. His goes down, Monkey goes down, Jug goes up, and with him power, it's only going to get better as the game continues.
Fortification has been used in the mid. That's the reveal of the blink over on the Ice, Ice, Ice. The shove back. He's going to try to negate some of this damage, of course, using that hood, but it's going to be just too much and overwhelm him.
They're not set up, so they get an easy grab. Great skewer back. Blink finish for Seb, and that's the power of Magnus. Pulls people out of position, and now the Fusel Blade's finished for Jug. He's queuing up Manta. He's already got 900 gold towards the last 2 pieces, so his trajectory is sitting so good here. Not being greedy at all. He's not just skilling stats. That's in some ways not greedy yet. Doing a slightly greedy, but he's so far ahead in net worth, he absolutely just wants
for enemies.
care as much about slight HP increase.
It definitely feels like the way that OG is playing. You know, I asked that question earlier. Are they going to be like sticking together and having all these like kind of scraps, or are they going to send Sumail off by himself? But it feels like Sumail's been very active, so.
He has, yeah. He's been farming a lot, but now his team's rotating to him to fight, and EG's just been waiting for Topson to show in the bot lane again. This is like 30 seconds for both of them.
Oh.
He's gonna spot him though.
Yeah, they just kill. Drag right back, shockwave, and it's a quick and easy kill.
Yeah, and that's what EG wants. That's why Fly started moving there, because he was trying to anticipate a gank that would come over and possibly. He gets killed, up, it's fine. That's exactly the move they want to make. But for once, Topson read their play effectively and doesn't go in the danger zone. So now the gank goes on the other side of the map. If they were bottom, they're probably TPing away. Now he's going to run it.
Definitely scared, already throwing out the Hex. Got the sharpshooter in place.
That combo is going to do so much damage because Natural Order is going to lower their magic resistance even further. So it's like this nuke that already is monster magic damage. It's a good. It's going straight for Atos into Gleipnir on Hoodwink, so pretty easy disable setup.
There's baiting, no tail a bit here. They throw out the cogs. They've got the meatball, cold snap. Fear Vessel charge goes for the hook shot. Gonna try to see if he can stay alive, or maybe at least just make some space. And he's looking pretty good right here. No, but the tornado will hit its mark. And in the bottom lane, lose Seb. Well,
the big one bottom. Yeah, Arteezy helping out with that. Fly committing ulti as well. They're smoke because they're trying to get the next fight happening. They've got one Boundless Strike hit left with Jingu Mastery, so if they can get there and start a fight like right now,
trying.
it could
They're
be huge.
beelining it over there. They see Saksa. They want this Elder Titan. Drop the Serpent Wards. It's like OG not keen on trying to defend this at this time.
Yeah, it's impossible. No glyph. Still 2 heroes respawning, so tier 1 tower does fall. But 5k gold advantage for OG, man, they are getting ahead. Now, there are some periods of the game that could be scary for OG, even if this net worth continues. Talking Cataclysm stuff, Invoker's got to get a lot of levels. He doesn't buy Midas, though. So his overall levels is going to be weaker. Positioning from Crosswex to Exort is going to take longer, and finishing his Ags is going to take longer, too. So not the best position for EG to be in, if that is one of their win conditions, but at least Arteezy's net worth is sitting pretty decent. Look at this, so Sumail's just starting Roche.
Yeah, he just walks right into it. They do not have the RP available, though. It doesn't seem like EG's really keen on knowing what's going on. They're just focusing on the side camps over here, so it would just be a very free Roche for them.
Yeah, maybe a little greedy for them, but hey, they've got massive damage on Juggernaut. There's a Sunstrike.
Strike. They know what's happening in the pit immediately.
It's too late, though.
Following up with the healing ward, and like you said, it is definitely too late. Sumail's going to grab himself the Aegis.
When you start Roche this early, like the damage you need to deal, when your damage is like this oversized for Sumail like it is, it just gives him this opportunity to see early Roche. And all it took was a couple bodies and he get it. So their big pickup for Sumail, more gold for his team. In the meantime, EG was just worried about getting jumped on or picked off, potential trolling their area, and they just couldn't contest it. But they're behind in net worth, so it makes a lot of sense that
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Atos now for Thompson, so that's even more control that they're going to be able to add to these fights.
that one's going to hurt Monkey a lot. He needs to move around and fights a lot, so if he can guarantee disable on him before he gets BKB, that's a big advantage. Either him or Invoker. Those, you know.
I mean, Thompson has just been very, very good at realizing which tree that Monkey
is under attack.
hiding in. If you show that lane, it's already...
I think that's another reason they picked Hoodwink, because you can get some nice flying vision with Acorn Shot. Bushwhack is going to catch people's productive trees anyways, so Monkey can be there. And now OG's just going to pressure the top racks while EG tries to play for this tier 2 that has frankly barely been touched. They drop another Serpent Ward to get some damage in.
Go home.
And yeah, EG's going to maybe get this tier 2, but look what they're losing in exchange for it. A lot of HP at a tier 3 tower at 19 minutes.
Sure about this.
It's just gonna die. They're moving over to setup.
I mean, they're throwing out the Deafening Blast, but Sumail, yeah, just spins to win over here. Still has that Aegis. It still haven't taken the tier 2 bottom just yet. Ice trying to get into this position. Hookshot does not connect.
Okay. Could be better for EG to initiate now, knowing block can't hit. Disruption fight here.
But you're like, look at the positioning of Sumail and everybody else. They're sitting so far back. They're just letting him, you know, be the brave guy up front. He's got the Aegis, the Hex, of course, right forward again, but look at a Shackle. Crit just lets go. He's like, well, guys, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. I need someone else to come in with me. I need the rest of the team because we don't want to just blow some of these big
team
big
fight
team
ultimates,
fight
yeah.
ultimates on just Sumail. Again, who has that Aegis. They're just literally watching him
Oh, they
cut
got a
apart the
disable.
base. On the
Fly.
side to say, oh, that's just a very dead disruptor. Sumail seeing this opening now, going to start rolling around or over onto Crit. The Hex comes out, ice, trying to get some position. Zeb going in for the RP, but it's a beautiful tornado. Crit, no, they'll take down RT. Ice now, having to move away. Zeb sitting a bit low, no tail throwing out the cog. They have the Gleipnir over on the 2 supports on the side of OG.
Dire's top
What an
barracks
advantage now,
have
and with some
fallen.
buybacks as well, the net worth goes insane. 12k advantage for OG at this point in the game. It's so
middle
difficult
tower
for
is
EG to
down.
initiate on them, but with Thompson getting that pick off, now the rest of the game is looking pretty straightforward. OG's not going to stop. They've got 2 whole minutes left on this Aegis. Getting the Aegis and then opening this up just completely changed the game.
They haven't been able to touch Sumail. You saw, like, Crit, at one point he gets the shackle off, and then it just throws his hands up in the air like, well, guys, what am I supposed to do? I can't do anything else. They have a 98% win rate, percent hope. Oh, gosh, right into the backlines, right onto Crit. They know that he is a big part of that. They'll follow up with the Ravage, but where's the rest of the damage? Where's the rest of the team? RTZ joining back in, does get the kill on No Tail, follow up with the Boundless. They've already got Socks and just running after him.
Oh
Look
my
at that
God.
damage! Oh my god, there was an RTZ there, but the that act, they just give up.
I'm not surprised. I mean, he had to get BKB because they've got to take this fight. But they've got an Elder Titan that's got Ags. He's got 4 points in natural order. So Monkey King walks in, 0 armor. It does not matter that you have lifesteal if you do not have any armor, because you're never going to win that trade. Never gonna